if you look at the fact that the baby boom is now between 55 and 75 years old, and a huge percentage of the baby boom still own their own single detached dwelling. Those are singles that are going to come on the market within the next, depending on how it all unfolds, 10 to 15 years likely, possibly 20. There is an argument to be made that we almost have enough singles now to accommodate the expectations of growth that we would see for the next 30 to 40 years. And the question becomes, beyond that point, are we going to be in a situation where that form of development, whether any is actually needed again, or are we developing in a different way because it'll be more and more driven by our transportation needs? And once you hit a certain supply of single detached dwellings out there, you may very well have enough as there become fewer and fewer people in the age groups that traditionally buy singles at the very time that you're getting the baby boom singles coming onto the marketplace. So we've got to be careful, and that's one of the things that I would say to the councils within your community is that we are truly at a threshold moment. We are at a point where you cannot look backwards and extrapolate forward, because the future is going to be very different. And we need to step back and take a look at the changing nature of our population. We need to plan. We need to really not make the assumption that our communities are going to continue to grow endlessly, that everybody is going to want the suburban type of development that they have now, and that we have the money to accommodate the type of infrastructure that's required to deliver the suburbs of the 70s, 80s, and 90s. It's just not a possibility when you look in the longer term. So how do we recognize that? And how do we start to transition ourselves while still meeting the needs of our citizens? But it may be that, in fact, future growth is not building the single or the single detached focused suburb for our children and the people moving into the community. But in fact, the development in the next 20 years may well be building the lifestyle type residence for the seniors in our community, and their single is recycled and is used by our children and the people coming in. It's not that development's necessarily going to stop, but the nature of that development, we really need to step back and think about it, because we could very easily overshoot the mark on certain forms of development and actually create problems for ourselves in the future.